So welcome everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Just adjust my other recording device here. There we go, a little better. All right, take a tall seat wherever you are. Allow your hands to rest somewhere comfortably on your thighs, and if you can, close your eyes and just bring some awareness to your breath. So drawing the breath all the way in through the nose, follow it all the way in. Root down through the sit bones, a little bit heavier, but keep the nice tall seat. So pull the low belly up and in. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And notice where you're breathing from, just these few first breaths. Are you drawing the breath all the way in through the lungs? Is it filling up the belly? And if it isn't, then perhaps just bring awareness, draw it in a little bit deeper. And when you exhale, keep the tall spine, tall through the crown of the head. We're trying to expand the chest area so we can get into the diaphragm. The diaphragm is connected to the back body. So obviously breathing into the diaphragm is very helpful for lower back and mid-back issues, as well as the digestive system. It's a muscle that we don't use enough. So deep, full inhales, being aware of that breath really helps work that diaphragm. And then if you wish, you can start to add some shoulder circles. So let's do one at a time. Maybe draw one shoulder head up towards your ear and draw the other one down and back. Yeah, that's it. Nice job. You can get into the elbows a little bit, maybe even into the hips. You can tuck the chin into the chest. Don't worry too much about how it looks. Just whatever feels good in the body. And then bring the shoulders back to even. Let's draw both shoulder heads up towards the ears. Inhale. Draw them down and around and back. Exhale. One more like that. Deep inhale. Down and around and back. Exhale. Good. And then take the shoulder circles in the opposite direction. That's it. Nice. Do a little bit of dance here maybe. You can get your groove on if you've got some music playing at home. And then draw both shoulder heads up towards your ears. Circle them down and around, down and forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, draw them all the way down and forward. One more like that, biggest inhale. Deepest exhale. Good, and then inhale, reach both arms up. Bring the palms together to touch. Root down through the hips, lift up through the hands. Squeeze the ears with the biceps, get really tall. Pull the low belly in. Let's lean all the way over to the right. And then take the right hand down, reach the left arm up and over. Spin the heart up towards the ceiling, look past the biceps. Stretch through that arm even more. And then press off the right fingertips, bring the palms together to touch. Sit really tall, heavy in the sit bones. We're going to lean over to the left. Breathe into this. Get a little bit taller in the arms, longer in the arms. That's it. Nice job. Left hand comes down, right fingertips reach up and over. And then spin the heart towards the ceiling. Get a little bit longer in that side of the waist. Spring off those left fingertips, bring the hands back to center. Pull the hands down, thumbs come to the middle of the chest. Interlace your fingers, press your palms away from you. And tuck the chin into the chest, take the shoulder blades back behind the sit bones. And maybe feel that stretch in the top of the hip flexors. As you inhale, reach both arms up. Hang on a second here. That's it. Good. Sorry to keep you there. There we go. Reach all the way up. And then bring the arms to cactus. So spread through the fingers a lot. Lift the elbows up to the level of your shoulders. And let's twist to the right. Really press back with the back of the right hand. Squeeze the shoulder blades together like you're cracking your heart open. Come all the way back. Let's go the other way. Press back through the left hand. Come back to center. Allow the hands to come behind the low back. And then interlace your fingers. Bring your thumb knuckles right to the low back. Draw your elbows towards each other like you want your elbows to disappear behind you. Good. I just turned around to show you what that would look like. And sit up nice and tall. So you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, but try not to let them creep up towards your ears. Drop them down. That's it. Okay, maybe take the knuckles away from the sacrum. Stay long in the neck. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. Keep the neck nice and long and neutral. Come all the way forward. Keep the sit bones heavy. And then just when you feel like you're going to tip, you're going to tuck the chin into the chest. Let the shoulders round forward. And then uncurl one vertebrae at a time. The hands can relax at the low back. Come all the way up to seated. Oh, good. Let's switch the crossing of our legs. So bring your non-habitual leg in front. If it feels awkward, that's okay. Just stay with that. Maybe adjust your sit bones slightly if you need to. And then inhale to reach up. Good. Let's bring the arms back to cactus. Crack that heart open. Stay long in both sides of the neck. Sad cactus with the right arm. Good. Really squeeze the shoulder blades. Let's tuck that right arm in behind the low back. And then reach the left arm up and over for a nice side body stretch. Again, try to spin the heart towards the ceiling. The right fingertips come as far over to the left as you can. And then come all the way back. Let's drop that left hand to the right thigh. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist towards the right. And the right fingertips might be reaching over to the left thigh. You might even bind behind you. The neck is the last thing to come. Breathe into this. Nice. Press the left palm into the right thigh. Reach the right arm up and over. Get really long here. See if you can stretch through the fingers a little bit more. That's it. And then cross that right hand down towards the left thigh. Now press both thighs, both palms into the thighs. Tuck the chin into the chest. Spread the shoulder blades apart on the back. Breathe into this. Keep the elbows crossed. Reach the arms up. So you're in a perfect position for eagle arms. Bring the elbows up to the heights of your eyes. That's it. And then take eagle arms. So you can take the backs of the palms together, palms to touch, or hands onto the shoulders. And then lift the elbows a little bit higher wherever you are. Good. Tuck the chin into the chest. Take the hands away from the face. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Get right into that middle back there. And then let's release that. Reach the arms up and let them come down. Circle out the shoulders. How are we doing? Good. Inhale, reach up. And bring the arms to cactus. Once again, spread through the fingers. So the fingers are super active here. Use your peripheral vision to see where your elbows are. Sometimes they like to droop down, so lift them up. Crack the heart open. That's it. And then sad cactus with the left arm, but keep that elbow level and keep the shoulders level. So there's some work happening here. Yeah, that's it. Tuck the left hand in behind. Reach the right arm up and over. Get really long here. The left fingertips are going to reach as far over to the right as you can. Maybe spin the heart towards the ceiling. Stay heavy in the right sit bone. And then allow that right hand to come down to the left thigh. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist towards the left. So you're rotating the rib cage around the spinal cord. The neck is the last thing to come. And in fact, it doesn't need to come at all if you've got any issues in your neck. Breathe into this. Take the right hand into the left thigh. Reach the left arm up and over. And then cross it down in front. Press both palms into the thighs. Here we go. We're really getting into the between the shoulder blades here. Press the hands into the thighs. And then reach the arms up. Once again, eagle arms, whatever works for you. Elbows come up to the height of the eyes. Tuck the chin into the chest. Reach the hands away from you. And then let's release that. And let it come down. Good job. How are we doing? Let's come off the block. Come into a tabletop position in the middle of your mat. All right. And set yourself up as you know how, arms outer shoulder width apart, fingers are spread, knees are hip width apart and parallel, your toes are tucked. This is tucked, this is untucked, right? Okay, so tuck toes. Take some cat-cow here, so as you exhale, press the floor away, chin to chest, hollow out the belly. As you inhale for cow, soften the belly, lift the heart, lift the tailbone. Move through this with your own breath. Just really big and slow as much as possible. Have the movement follow your breath. That's it. Inhale for cow. Exhale, really press through the hands, the knees, and the toes for angry cat. One more time like this. Awesome. Come back to a neutral spine. And take your hands one hand width forward of your shoulders. So it comes a little bit more forward onto your mat. Good. And then shift your weight forward. And take your hips and your shoulders over to the right. Press into your hands. Send your hips towards your heels. Come through child's pose, come all the way over to the left, and just make some big circles with your body around the torso. Breathe into this. When you come back through child's pose, you can tuck the chin into the chest. If you draw the heart forward, you can lengthen through the back of the neck. Whatever feels good. And then the next time you come around, taking your hips towards your heels through child's pose, just change the direction. Take your torso in the opposite direction that you were doing before. That's it. Move through this. Nice job. Okay. And then come back into a neutral spine. Let's zip up the inner lines of the legs. And tuck your toes. Yeah. So have your heels touch, your toe mounds touch your knees. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Check out that all your toes are participating here. So now you're in a toe stand situation like this. And it might be intense. If you need a cushion between the sit bones and the heels, you can take that. Bring the torso to vertical. So shoulders are over the hips. That's it. Breathe into this. Let's inhale, reach both arms up. Pull the hands down through heart center. And flip the hands away from you. Press the hands away. Take your shoulder blades back behind the sit bones. Tuck the chin into the chest. It might feel intense. Breathe into that. Taking the shoulders back might get a little bit more into the toes. See if you can stay with this sensation. Inhale to reach up. And then bring the arms to a T. And take a look at my hands. I call these stop sign hands. You're really pressing up through the heel of the hand, and you should feel that in the lines of the arms. Take your right ear to your right shoulder and press out more through the left hand. Bring the neck back straight up. Left ear to left shoulder. Press out more through the right hand. Breathe into that. Are you still with me? If you've had to come out of it, that's okay. Bring your hands into fists. Bring those to the floor. Untuck your toes. Take some ankle circles here or tap them out. Yeah, it can be quite intense on the feet. Okay, and then come to standing on the knees. So now we're in this nice long line here. Good. Keep the toes untucked and engage your pelvic core and your pelvic floor and your core. So this area of the body here, you're going to draw everything up and in and keep it nice and strong and firm and tight. All right, bring the hands to the hips, really press into the tops of the feet and hinge straight back so that your shoulders and your hips stay in one long line, and then come all the way up. Engage that pelvic floor, engage the core, stay nice and strong. Notice that your feet are working as well here, okay? And then hinge straight back. So the tops of the feet are helping with this. Keep that going. Now start to hinge at the hips or bend at the hips and slowly lower the hips towards the heels, but just hover right above there. And notice the work in the tops of the feet. Yeah, one more breath, and then come all the way down. Allow your hips or your sit bones to sink into the heels. How was that? Pretty intense, right? Breathe into that. Bring your hands to the floor in fists. Lift the knees up slightly, so getting a nice stretch in the tops of the feet. And if you can't do this, if it doesn't work for you, for your ankles, for any reason, just ignore me. Bring the hands to the floor, untuck your toes, circle that out, or tap that out. Good, nice work. All right, back in tabletop. We're gonna take an elongated tabletop here. So walk your hands a little bit forward of the shoulders and your knees a little bit back behind the hips. Good. And just check this out here. So I'm gonna start by shifting the weight forward. You can tuck your toes if you wish for a little bit of traction here. My shoulders are over my wrists. I'm gonna hinge straight back at the elbows, keeping them glued to the rib cage, pressing into the heels of my hands, sending my hips back towards the heels. Tuck the chin into the chest. Round the spine all the way forward till my shoulders are a little bit past the wrist. Hinge straight back at the elbows, about halfway down. Press all the way back. So this rolling cat-cow, building strength in the shoulders, in the hands, really being mindful to keep those elbows glued towards the rib cage. Okay? I call those grasshopper arms. Your elbows are meant to bend backwards like that. One more. So anytime you're lowering down into chaturanga, this is the action that you want to take. Press back. Good. And now take your knees wide, keep your toes tucked, and spider tip your fingers, walk them away from you. Tuck the chin into the chest, but keep the forearms and the head off the mat. So you're really lifting up from the middle of the spine and the armpits towards the ceiling. Breathe into this. And then shift your weight forward so you can untuck your toes. Sit all the way back on the heels. Bring your palms down, bring the forearms down. Bring the hands together to touch. Take the thumbs behind the nape of the neck. Walk the elbows away from you. And let the heart melt into the floor a little bit more. Breathe into this. Whew. Bring the palms to the floor. Come into tabletop. And let's extend the right leg out to the right. You can tuck the toes on the left foot. And notice that your right foot is going to be parallel to the long edge of your mat. And you want the toe roughly in line with the knee. Okay? Come to standing on that knee. That's it. And take the arms out to a T. Good. We're taking the right arm down the right thigh, reach up and over with the left. Really press into the outer blade of that foot. And then bring the arms back to a T. Let's reach, reach, reach. So pulling the pelvic floor in, pulling the pelvic floor up, core is engaged. We're reaching with the left arm. Keeping the hand level with the shoulder. That's it. Come all the way back. And right down the thigh. Left arm up and over. That's it. Come back to a T. So using those deep oblique abdominal muscles. Reach, reach, reach. Try not to fold in half. Keep pushing the chest and the pubic bone forward. Yeah. Allow that left hand to drop under the shoulder. You can tuck this back foot wherever you need, and let's lift up through the right heel. Reach out through the right fingertips. And again, check to see if your chest is pointing towards the floor. If it is, push more into the left hand, reach more through the right fingertips, and engage the glute here. Lift that heel up. Yeah. And now we're going to reach the right arm up and over. Okay. We're going to make a fist with the right hand. Bring the knee in towards the chest and the elbow towards the knee. So curl everything in. And then extend everything long. Yeah. Curl everything in. So you can fold in half here, curl through the spine. Reach really long. One more. Bring everything in. Tuck it in, keep the toes engaged on the right foot, extend it long. Bend the top knee if you wish, option to reach back with that right hand. Grab onto the ankle, and then press the sole of the foot behind you. Take the chest and the hips forward. Yeah, beautiful. Breathe into this. Carefully release that leg, press out one more time, really engage that glute, reach the right arm up and over. And then spin that hand down, come back into a cat-cow. Sit down untuck your toes, sit down onto your heels, and then walk your fingertips over to the left and press the hips over to the right so you get a nice stretch out of that glute that we just used. Breathe into that. Take the right hand on top of the left. Walk the fingertips back to center. Come back into a tabletop, tuck your toes, maybe take a cat-cow here just to connect back to the breath. And then let's extend the left leg out to the side. Good. Again, your toes are going to be parallel to your long edge of your mat. Roughly have the toes in line with the knee, and then come to standing on the knees. As much as you can, engage this leg so you're pressing into the outer blade of that left leg. Bring the arms to a T. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Come all the way back. So start by pressing the chest and the pubic bone forward, and keep that as you take the hand down the leg. Maybe spin the heart up towards the ceiling. That will make sure that you're not folding in half here. Yeah, get as long as you can. That's it. Come all the way back. And now we're going to draw across the table, reaching with the right fingertips. Use those deep oblique muscles. Yeah, come back. Nice and level through the shoulders. Left hand down. Right arm up and over. Spin the heart towards the ceiling. Come all the way back. Here we go. Stay nice and level here. Keep the outer blade of the left foot engaged. Allow the hand to drop right underneath. That's it. And let's lift up through the left toes and up through the left arm. If it's okay for your neck, you're going to look towards that hand. So try and increase your wingspan here. Yeah, nice job. Make a fist with that hand. And here we go. We're going to reach the arm over and then bring knee to elbow. Draw everything in, chin to chest. Really curl through the spine. And then reach long. And curl through the spine. Bring everything in. And reach long. Press out through the heel of that left foot. Engage that glute. Spin the heart towards the ceiling. One more time. Bring everything in. Engage it. Long. Press out through the heel. Maybe bend the top leg. You might need to fold a little bit here so that you can grab onto the ankle. And then resist the hand with the foot. And open the heart towards the side. Maybe even towards the ceiling a little bit. Press that left heel back behind you. Make sure that your shoulder's over the wrist. Breathe into this. Carefully release that foot. Press it out one more time. Engage that glute. Reach the arm long. Yeah, you're doing great. And then bring the foot down. Bring the hands down. Untuck the toes. Allow your hips to come towards your heels. Walk your fingertips over to the right and shift the hips to the left. And see if you can get into that glute a little bit deeper. Breathe into that. Left hand will come on top of the right. And then walk your hands back to center. Whew. Bring your knees hip width apart and parallel. Set yourself up in tabletop. Just take a cat-cow here. Connect back to the breath. All right. And then walk your hands one hand width forward of your shoulders. Shift your weight forward. And with control, keeping those elbows glued to the rib cage, you're going to lower yourself all the way down onto the belly. That's it. Untuck your toes when you arrive, but engage the tops of your feet and your toenails till you feel your knees lift. Take your fingertips wide off the mat. As you inhale, peel the heart forward and up. Strange cobra, lower all the way down. Take your elbows over your wrists, tap the fingers. Inhale. Strong in the legs. All the way down. Yeah, let's do one more like that. Use your full breath. Peel the heart up off the earth. Feel the knees lift because your toenails are pressing so hard into the mat. Come all the way down. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes and take a child's pose. You can either have your toe mounts touching and the chest come down between the thighs, knees wide, or you can have your knees together. Drape your torso over the thighs. You get a little bit more into the lower back here in this one. And just rest and breathe. Connect back to the breath. And then plant your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Let's take our first downward facing dog. And when you arrive in your down dog, you can pedal up through the feet. So take a look at your hands. Spread through the fingers as much as you can. And take a little more weight in the index finger and the thumb mound specifically. Sometimes we tend to dump in the outer part of our wrists. Press the mat away. Take lots of movements in the hips. Really pull one heel towards the floor, get into that hip and that side, and maybe then the other one. And breathe. Nice. Come high up on your tippy toes. Bend your knees so you can press into your hands more like you're trying to push the mat away. And that'll send your hips further and higher towards the top back corner of your room. Your chest will come closer to your thighs. Keep that. And now slowly pull the heels towards the floor. And stay with the sensation in the back of the legs. See if your heels can disappear behind your ankles. So you're trying to rip the mat apart away here, underneath you. And inhale to lengthen, press into the hands. Exhale to settle. One more like that. Inhale to expand. Press into the hands a little bit more. Exhale to settle through the heels. Get heavy in the backs of the legs. Breathe. Float forward to plank, top of a push-up. And when you float forward to plank, you shouldn't have to adjust your hands and your feet too much. If you do, then that is the distance that you should have. So if you're here and you're having to move your hands every time, come into plank first, find that so that your shoulders are over your wrists, and then press back into down dog. And that's roughly the position you should have for down dog. So here you are in plank, shoulders over the wrists, nice and strong, long through the crown of the head. Breathe here, full inhale. Stay for the exhale. One more, full inhale. And then let's press all the way back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees once again. Send your hips back towards your heels, so like you're loading a spring. Look forward, and you can hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. When you arrive, make sure your feet are hip width apart and parallel, and exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Check to see if your bum is way back behind your heels. If it is, shift the weight forward more into the toes. If you need something under the hands, please take it. Then take your heels down and back so that the heels aren't lifting up. You want to super glue your heels to the floor. Let the head go. Look back towards your belly button. If you look towards your feet, you're actually holding the neck a little bit, so let it go even more. Get a nice engagement in the whole back of the legs. One more breath here. Bring your fingertips to shins, halfway lift. See if you can keep the hips over top of your ankles. Breathe, lengthen through the heart. Exhale, forward fold. This time grasp opposite elbows. And really allow the weight of the arms to draw the torso down the legs. I had a teacher tell us once that if you did a forward fold for 2 minutes a day, it would change your life, just because of the length you would get in the hamstrings, or even a seated forward fold for 5 minutes a day. And if you think about it, in our seated culture, we really are shortening our hamstrings by sitting so much. So this is really good for the spine, really good for the backs of the legs. Okay, halfway lift. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, forward fold. This time interlace your fingers behind your low back. Bring your palms together to touch and take your thumb knuckles right to the low spine there. Draw your elbows towards each other, like you're squeezing your shoulder blades and you're cracking your heart open towards your thighs. Keep that for a moment. Breathe into that. And then maybe straighten through the arms. Take the thumb knuckles up and overhead. It really helps to bend the knees here. It helps to get into the shoulders a little bit more. If you wish to start sending the sit bones towards the ceiling, you can. It's a little more intense. Breathe into that. And then release the arms. Let them go. And we're going to uncurl one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up to standing. So press into the feet. Tuck the pubic bone under. Let the head and the arms be heavy. Stack the vertebrae. Come all the way up to standing into mountain pose. Palms facing forward. Take a look at your feet, nice and strong through the feet. And then inhale to reach up. Zip up the inner lines of the legs, so heel, toe, the feet together, big toe mounds touch, heels touch, palms together. Let's inhale to lengthen like we did in the seated position. Squeeze everything together. Leaning over to the right, Get as long as you can. Drag your fingertips across the ceiling. Send the hips to the left. And then come all the way up to center. Get a little bit taller. And squeeze the inner lines of the legs. Here we go, leaning over to the left, hips go to the right. Such a simple exercise, but so much work here. And come all the way back. Okay, bend the knees, open the arms, swan dive all the way down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply, plant your hands. Step the right leg back, step the left leg back. Downward facing dog. And my mat keeps shifting over because I'm on the carpet. All right. Take a full inhale here in down dog. And a full exhale. Float forward to plank, top of a push-up. Hopefully you're not shuffling through the hands and the feet too much. Yeah, looks really good. Keep the neck long. One more breath here. Lower the knees or else draw the shoulders a little bit past the wrists. Start to hinge straight back at those elbows. Press the floor away, lower down with control. The chest should arrive first, then the belly, then the thighs. Untuck your toes. Draw your hands back so that your wrists are underneath your elbows. And then draw the elbows towards each other on the back. As you inhale, peel the heart up off the floor. Keep the neck long. Really keep the tops of the feet, so the toenails on the mat. And lower all the way down. Once again, draw the elbows towards each other. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Use the strength of the back body. Let's peel the heart up off the floor. Hover the hands so they might just lift up off the mat. Keep the neck long. Don't torque through the neck. Keep the toenails on the mat. One more breath. Full inhale. Use the strength of the back body. Exhale, lower down. Good. Okay, we're going to do one more like that. So start by engaging the legs. Press the toenails into the mat. You'll feel the knees lift. Then draw the elbows to each other. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Peel the heart. Keep the neck long. Keep using the strength of the back body. We're going to hover the hands. And now we might lift up through the feet as well. So you're trying to take your toes, point through the toes. Take the toes as far away from the crown of the head as possible. One more breath. Full inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Using the strength of the back body, so good for us. Make a little pillow out of the hands and just relax here. Breathe. You can wiggle out through the hips. Bring the hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. From down dog, take your right leg up and back. Reach up through the heel. Stack your right hip on top of the left, but keep the right leg straight. Press into both hands and pull the left heel towards the floor. Breathe here. Level out the hips. Toes are going to point straight down on that right foot. And you're going to come through center, shoulders over wrists, knee into chest. Pause here. Hollow out the belly. Tuck the chin in. And then take the right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Shoulders come over the wrists, right knee to right elbow or back of the right tricep. Pause here. All the way up and back. Three-legged dog. Last time, coming through the center and then crossing over underneath to the left elbow or left tricep. Press through the hands. Now bring it back to center. Lift that right hip a little bit higher. Step that right foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, reach up. Whew. Nice job. Back toe is tucked. Right hand forward, left hand back. And then all the way up. Right hand forward, left hand back. All the way up. One more time. Right hand forward, left hand back. Allow that right hand to drop back, reach up through the left fingertips. Look over the right shoulder. And now bend that left elbow, tuck it outside the right knee. Bring the other hand on top. You've got a twisted prayer. Press into the hands to take the thumbs to the middle of the chest. Option to stay here. Option to pick up the back knee. So press up through the back heel. That's it. Maybe open your wings if you wish. Fingertips come to the floor. Wherever you are, breathe. Carefully untwist. Bring the hands to the floor. We're going to stand onto that right leg and lift up through the left heel. So a standing L. Keep the pelvis level, toes on the left foot point straight down. Use the inner part of the left leg to lift up a little bit higher. And let's cross the left foot behind the right. Bring the pinky toe mounds together to touch. Let the head go. Shift your weight forward into the toes so that your hips are over your heels once again. If you need a block, please take it under the hands. Let's walk the fingertips over to the left side. Shift your hips to the right. Breathe into this. And then walk your hands back. Fingertips over to the right, hips to the left. Breathe into this. Come all the way back to center. Okay, and carefully you're going to uncross the right foot. Hug the left foot. Hug the left knee in towards the right. Press into your standing leg, which is your right leg, and draw this knee up and towards center. Bring it all the way up to the chest. Yeah, good. Breathe here. Okay, reach the arms up, and let's press out through the left heel. Nice and straight. Bring that left foot beside the right. Sit your hips down and back, chair pose. Squeeze the inner lines of the legs together. That's it. Sit a little bit deeper into the heels. Look past the ends of your knees. See if you can wiggle your toes a little bit. One more breath, full inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Bring your hands to your waist. Draw your shoulder blades together on the back. Press into the feet. Come all the way up to standing. Inhale to reach up. Zip up the inner lines of the legs once again. And let's take the right wrist with the left hand. Squeeze the legs together. We're leaning over to the left. Take the hips to the right. Shift your weight into your left leg and engage the toes on this right foot until you start to feel them lift up. Really long. Breathe. Carefully come all the way back. Bring the foot back beside the other one. Switch sides, so take the left wrist with the right hand, get really tall, and start to lean over to the right, and then take the weight into the right leg. So you should feel the left leg start to get lighter, and then when you engage the toes on that foot, it's going to get even lighter, and maybe it's going to lift up on its own. Good. Take the toes as far away from the fingers as you can. Breathe. Get really tall, drag your fingertips across the ceiling. Bring that foot back. Bend the knees, swan dive all the way down. Let it go. Bend your knees deeply, plant your hands. You're going to step your right leg back. And keep the back knee lifted. Okay, so keep your fingertips on the floor. Make sure the knee is over the ankle on the left leg. And here we go, coming all the way up. Good. Check to see when you're in your high lunge that you're not dumping into the back. So you're going to tuck the pelvis under like you're pulling the pubic bone up towards your belly button. You can bend the back knee, reach the arms up, and just start to press out through the back heel. Make sure the left knee is over the ankle. Breathe into this. That's it, nice and strong. One more breath here. And then slowly keeping the left fingertips up, start to bring the right fingertips to the wide edge of the mat. And then open, twist towards the left. Breathe here. Yeah. Nice job. Take one more breath here. And then lower your back knee down onto the floor. Good. And here we are. Now, if you have blocks here for this next section, I recommend them. So you can bring your blocks underneath your hands. Good. And we're going to do a nice hip stretching series here. Okay. So scooch the toes forward on your left foot. Press into your fingertips to lift the heart and come forward through the hips. Let the pelvis get heavy. So you're really sinking down through the pelvis rather than curling through the spine. Keep the heart lifted and let the pelvis be heavy. Yeah. Good. That's it. Breathe into this. Okay, let's straighten the front leg. Pull the left toes back towards your face. You're going to bring your fingertips beside your hips. So you can be on whatever height of blocks you need, or no blocks, totally fine. But press into your fingertips to lift the heart. Send your sit bones out behind you, lengthen through the spine, and lay the chest down on the thigh. So breathe into this. Ardha Hanuman, half split. That's it. Breathe, yeah. And then once again, plant the sole of the front foot. Bring your fingertips with you. Second time in this lunge, maybe the toes come a little bit more forward and you can get deeper into the lunge. Again, press into your fingertips to lift the heart. Glide forward through the hips. Nice, so I'll show you on a side angle. Okay, so when I say this, rather than here, press into your fingertips and glide forward through the hips. So you're coming down through the pelvis. Yeah, that's it. Second time in Ardha Hanuman, straighten the front leg. Bring your blocks back beside you. Again, lift the heart. Send the sit bones out behind you. Lengthen through the spine. Lay the chest down on the thigh. And on the second one, you can point and flex this foot. See if it offers you something different. Breathe into that. And maybe for the last couple breaths, you're going to tuck your chin into your chest, curl through the spine. Let the forehead or the nose come to the knee. See if you get a different sensation there. Breathe into that. And then bring your blocks forward, bring your foot forward. Whew, that's pretty intense, right? Stay with that. I think we have a cat coming to visit. Take your left hand to the inside of your left thigh. And then heel toe this left foot wide. Good. Bring your blocks back under your hands. Square your hips and your shoulders. Now, a couple of options. You can keep this foot parallel to the long edge of the mat and hug the inside of the thigh towards the back of your arm, or you can turn the toes out slightly so that your knee travels in the same direction as your toe, okay? But you're going to square your hips and your shoulders, and you're going to start to draw the heart forward. So this is a deep hip opener coming into lizard. You can come on to the forearms if you wish. That's it. Keep drawing the heart forward. And an option to even ski boot this left leg and allow that knee to open up. So you've got lots of options here. This can be really intense. So please breathe into this. Full inhales. Full deep exhales. And with every exhale, if you can let go a little bit more where it's tight. Okay, rather than holding your breath, let go a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. Stay here as long as you wish. Please don't cook yourself. When you've had enough, you're going to press back into your fingertips or your blocks or whatever you're using. Bring the torso back to upright. Good. Slowly heel toe this foot back to the midline. And set, if you're using a block, set that left block aside. Bring the left hand to the thigh. And then press the left hand into the thigh. Let's reach the right arm up. So you're coming out of your lunge slightly. Okay, so we were here. You're going to press back up. So you've got that knee over the ankle. Good, reach up. And then hug the left elbow in, reach up and over with the right arm. Bring it back and interlace your fingers on top of your thigh, pressing both hands into the thigh. Tuck the chin into the chest and press the chest away from the thigh. So you might feel a nice stretch here in the top of the right hip. We call this a proposal stance. There you go. Okay. Reach both arms up. Good. Bring the fingertips to the floor. And now another option. Left hand's going to come back onto the thigh. You're going to look over your left shoulder. Option to bring that right heel towards your bum. Option to reach back with the left hand and grab onto the foot or use your strap You've got your right hand here for support. You can resist this heel. I recommend rolling forward to the top of the thigh so you're not on your kneecap. And it might be intense and it might not work for you today. That's totally fine. Option to look over the left shoulder. And again, you can turn the toes out on that left foot to accommodate the knee if you need to open through that hip more. Maybe you're going to come down onto the forearm. So there's lots of variations that this pose can take. And you're going to take the one that works for you. And then when you've had enough, you're going to carefully release that foot. You're going to bring your hands back to the mat. And then you're going to step back, either to a down dog and open that left hip, take some hip circles, or in a tabletop, take some hip circles, or a child's pose, or whatever feels good in your hip here. I know that's a very intense little series that we did. Looks like you guys rocked it. Good job. Breathe into that. That's it. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Whew. Take a full inhale here. And a full exhale. Float forward to plank, top of a push-up. Full inhale here. Stay for the exhale. One more, full inhale. Lower straight back, up the elbows, coming all the way down. Chest, belly, thighs. Untuck your toes. That's it. And then allow the forehead to rest on the mat. Interlace your fingers behind the low back or take a strap. And once again, get those thumb knuckles right into the low back. Engage the legs by pressing the toenails into the mat. You'll feel the knees lift. Start to draw the elbows towards each other. Keep the neck long. And start to slowly peel the heart up. And you might not get too far because of the position of the elbows, but it's about getting the shoulder blades together as much as you can to start. And then you can draw the knuckles towards the heels. Keep the neck long. If you want to lift up through the feet, you can as well. So breathe here. Squeeze the shoulder blades, maybe lift a little bit higher. Keep the neck long. One more breath. And slowly lower everything down to the mat. Bring your hands under your shoulder, under your forehead, and connect back to the breath. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Tuck your toes. You can take a child's pose or a downward facing dog. We'll eventually meet in down dog. So whatever you need here. So we probably feel nice and open and loose on the one side. So let's do everything that we just did on the other side. Okay? So from downward facing dog, start by taking the left leg up and back. And then stack the left hip on top of the right. So keep the leg nice and straight. Really engage the toes on that left foot. Pull the right heel towards the floor. Check to see that you're pressing into the hands evenly and the shoulders are even. So one more breath here. Good. Level out the hips. Toe is going to point straight down. We're coming through the middle. Shoulders come over the wrists. Knee to chest. Chin to chest. Hollow out the belly. Take the left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Shoulders over wrists. Left knee to left elbow or left tricep. Pause there. Press the floor away. Lots of strength, right? Left leg up and back. Here we go. Shoulders over wrists. Left knee to right elbow or right tricep. Breathe here. Then pull it up and towards center. Lift that left hip a little bit higher. Step the left foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, reach up. Whew. Good job. Connect back to the breath. Right hand forward, left hand back. Strong through the fingers. Inhale, reach up. Move with the breath here. Open and twist. All the way up. One more. Pause here. Drop the left hand down. Reach the right arm up. Take a slight back bend, maybe looking over the left shoulder. Bend the right elbow, tuck it outside the left knee. Bring the other hand on top. Left elbow towards the ceiling, twisted prayer. Press into the hands until the chest and the belly come off the thigh. Extend out through the back leg. Breathe here. That's it. Take the crown of the head as far away from the heel as possible and tuck that left sit bone under. So sometimes the hip tries to go out to the side. Tuck it under. That'll give you a little more space to open your wings as well. And breathe into this. You're doing great. Okay, carefully untwist. Bring your hands to frame the front foot. We're stepping onto that left leg, lifting up through the right heel. Standing L, pelvis is level. Lift up more from the big toe mound of that right leg. Breathe into that. And then carefully, let's cross the right foot behind the left. Pinky toe mounds touch. Shift the weight forward into the toes. And let it go here. Bring your fingertips to your shins. Let's do a halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Yeah. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe interlace the fingers behind the low back. Take the knuckles away from the low back. A little bit of a shoulder stretch. Carefully release that. Good. If you need to walk your hands in one direction and the other just to get into the hips a little bit, go ahead and do that. We did it on the other side, so it's always good to do it here as well. Okay, bring the hands back to center. Now we're uncrossing the right foot. The knees are staying together. And then we're pressing into the standing leg, which is our left leg, and we're bringing the right knee up and towards our chest. Good. Press out through the right heel. Reach up through the fingers. Nice and strong. Then bring the foot back beside with control. Big toe mounds together to touch. Sit your hips down and back. Chair pose. Yeah, let's add on here. Let's take the right arm down and back. Reach it forward and up. Sit a little bit deeper. Left arm down and back. Reach it all the way up. Sit a little bit deeper. Breathe here. Exhale, forward fold. Oh, nice work. And bend your knees deeply. We're stepping the left leg back. Lowering the knee down. Bring your blocks under your hands. And just come into this low lunge series that we are now familiar with, right? Okay, so scooching the toes forward on that right foot. Have your fingertips come with you. See how that feels. Press into the fingertips, lift the heart. Glide forward through the hips. Let the pelvis be heavy. And breathe into this. Come into whatever height of the blocks you need to support your torso. All right, extend the front leg. Pull the toes back towards your face. Your fingertips are coming beside your hips. You're pressing into your fingertips to lift the heart. Send your sit bones out behind you. Extend through the spine. Lay the heart down on the thigh. And breathe into this. Yeah. That's it. Nice job. Ardha Hanuman, half split. If you have a deeper split in your practice and you want to extend the front leg forward, go ahead and do that and use your blocks for support if you need. Breathe into that. That's it. Okay, replant the sole of the front foot. Walk your hands forward. Breathe into this. Good job. Second time, lifting the heart. Glide the hips forward. Nice and strong here. Might start to feel a little bit easier. Check to see if you're opening up towards the left side. Sometimes we shift open to that open hip. Just keep your hips square and your shoulders square. Yeah, there you go. And then second time, Ardha Hanuman. Walk your blocks back. Start by pressing into the fingertips to lift the heart, laying the chest down on the thigh. But then you might tuck the chin into the chest, round through the spine, and maybe point and flex this foot. And then we're bringing the foot forward. Bring the right hand on the inside of the right leg. And heel toe that foot to the wide edge of the mat. You're going to square your hands back up under your shoulders. So again, the options are having the foot parallel so that the inside of the thigh is hugging towards the shoulder, or turning the toes out on an angle to accommodate your knee. And this is probably more common, okay? Keep the hips and the shoulders square. Start to draw the heart forward. So coming into lizard, it can be deep, it can be intense. Use your breath, it's your superpower. Make the inhales and exhales deeper and slower and longer. And with every exhale, let go of where it's tight. Try not to hang on to that tightness. Flush it through, let it pass. If you want to go even deeper, you can tuck the back toe and pick up the back knee. So that gets you a little bit deeper as well. Maybe you're going to wing, ski boot the right foot and wing it out to the side. Lots of options. Find what works for you. Find some stillness if you can. 4-letter words in your head are quite common in these deep hip openers, and that's totally fine. But see if you can breathe through it. Yeah, one more breath. And then slowly bring yourself back to upright. Okay. Bring your block back. You've got your left hand here. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. Hug that elbow in, and then press yourself out of your lunge. So again, you're in this more upright position. Reach the left arm up. Hug the right elbow in. Let's lean over to the left. So getting a nice stretch in the outside of the left hip. Bring that left hand down. Interlace your fingers. Whoops, losing my balance here. Bring the hands onto the thigh and chuck the chin into the chest. So you're pressing your chest away, you're pressing your knee away. Really press into that front foot. And notice if you feel that in the top of the left thigh. Should feel kind of okay. Breathe into that, especially after the stretching we did there. Okay, come back. If you want to use a block for support, you can. So we're doing this optional twisted thigh stretch here. All right. So looking over the right shoulder, maybe bending the back leg, maybe reaching back for the hand. And if this is where you are, this is totally fine. You're getting a great benefit by doing the twist. But if you want to reach back for the foot or your pant leg and then hang on, you're going to bring that whole unit forward. So try to keep the heel as close to the bum as you can. And you can open the shoulders and the hips towards your right, or you can square them up. So squaring the shoulders and the hips is a little deeper. Opening up gives you a little more space. Again, you can come onto a block or onto the floor. Breathe into wherever you are. When you've had enough, you're going to carefully release that foot to the floor. Bring your hands back on the inside of the leg, and you're going to step back, and you're going to take your stacking of the hips, or your cat-cow, or your just gentle rolling here. That's it. Whew. Who asked for hips today? All right, and let's come back into down dog. You guys did great. Take a full inhale here, and a full exhale. And then float forward to plank, top of a push-up, nice and strong. Take a full inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Slowly lower down. So when you're lowering down, your shoulders come a little bit past the wrists. So you can hinge straight back at those elbows, keeping them glued to the rib cage. Lower all the way down. All right. I'm going to teach up dog today, because I find up dog is one of the most butchered poses in yoga. People roll over their toes, they're dumping into their lower back. So let's build it from the ground up. So we're down on our bellies, toes are untucked. Take your hands back so that they're underneath your elbows. So you can see I've got these grasshopper arms going here. Now draw the elbows towards each other. Keep the neck long, looking straight down at your mat. Pull the low belly towards the back of the body, so into the spine. That's going to protect the low back. Engage the legs, press into the hands, and lift up off the thighs and the pelvis. So my shirt's a little bit baggier, but you can't tell. So we're not dumping here. We're lifting up. So you're pulling the low belly into the spine. There's some work involved, and you've got a nice up dog here. Safe for the low back. Your shoulders a little bit past the wrist or over the wrists. Your toes and your legs are engaged, so everything's working. Lowering all the way down. Let the head rest. Let's try that one more time. Grasshopper arms, wrists under the elbows, pull the low belly into the spine, draw the shoulder blades together, legs engaged, press into the hands, press into the tops of the feet. Nice and long in the neck, really strong pose. Yeah, and then if you wish, you want to roll over your toes, press yourself back into a downward facing dog, and breathe. If you want to lower down and come back through tabletop, totally fine as well. That's it. Good job. Okay, here we are. From here, let's take the right leg up and back. Reach up through the heel. We're going to bring the shoulders over the wrist, pull the knee into the chest, step the right foot forward. Keep the back knee lifted, come up into a nice high lunge. There you go. Good. Bend into the front knee. That's it. Oh, you know what? We forgot that on the other side, didn't we? Ha ha. Okay, interlace the fingers behind the low back. Draw the elbows towards each other and the knuckles. Then straighten through the arms, hinge forward at the hips, come all the way forward, pressing into that front foot. Maybe take the arms up overhead. That's it. And bring the hands to the floor. Blocks here are useful. Pressing into the fingertips or the blocks, press into that front foot and straighten the front foot. So we're getting a nice hamstring stretch here. Yeah, like this. Good. If you need to step the back foot in, you can. But as much as you can, keep the toes pointing forward. So using the blocks is helpful here because you can really press into the hands. Draw that back heel down. Good. And you're going to feel this in the outer right hip, I suspect. Okay. Take your left hand beside your right foot. Take your right hand to your waist. An option to twist towards the right. So again, use whatever block, height of the block you need, if you need one. But press into the front foot, twist towards the right. Yeah, maybe reach up through the right arm. Revolve triangle. Breathe. Good. Bring the right hand down. Step that right foot back. Downward facing dog. That's it. Let's take the left leg up and back. Reach up through the heel. We're going to step it forward, shoulders over wrist. Bring that left foot forward. Good. Coming into the high lunge here. So bend into the front knee. You can bend that back knee. Come all the way up. Reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers behind the low back. That's it. And draw the elbows towards each other. Keep the shoulders and the hips square. Maybe draw the knuckles towards the heels. Hinge forward at the hips, so press out through the back heel as much as you're pressing into the front leg. Draw the torso long, keep it level. Bring the hands to the floor and press into that front foot. Blocks under the hands, great idea because it allows you to press into the hands as well. Send the hips back as much as you can. Pull that right heel down, press more into the front foot. If you can draw the torso down the leg, awesome. Breathe into that. Good job. Okay, right hand comes beside the left foot. Left hand to the hip. Start to turn to the left. If you need to step that back foot in a little bit, go ahead and do that. Use your block, whatever you need. It's not about suffering. It's about getting nicely deep into the pose where you get some feeling. Reaching up through the left fingers, twisting towards the left. Really press into that front foot. And then bring the fingertips down. Step all the way back. Downward facing dog. And take a full inhale here. And a full exhale. That's it. Float forward to plank. Top of a push-up. Last one. Full inhale here. We're going to lower all the way down. Chest, belly, thighs. Yeah, nice job. And then roll over onto your backs. Whew. Good job, everybody. Okay. from here. Make sure you've got a nice, comfortable position. Bend your knees so that the soles of your feet are on the floor. Then draw your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. Turn the knee out to the side and place the right ankle over top of the left thigh. So you've got a figure 4 here. That's it. Take the left hand to the right ankle and the right hand to the inside of your thigh. Flex the toes on this right foot a lot, and then just gently encourage that right hip to open. So the right thigh to come away from the torso. This might be intense. It might not move at all. You're going to be very safe here with this hip. Breathe into it. And then you're going to draw the knees into the chest, so the left knee is going to come in. You can reach through your figure 4 and take your hands to the outside of your shin or the back of the thigh, whatever works for you. Tuck the chin up into the chest. Your right elbow is still there to gently encourage that right leg to open. Really engage the toes on both feet. Breathe into this. So again, lots of hip openers today. You're doing great. Breathe here. All right, let's extend the left heel towards the ceiling. So now the fingertips are going to come behind the left thigh. You can keep the chin tucked into the chest. Or you can walk your hands up the back of the calf, maybe drawing the right foot a little closer towards your face. See how that goes. Allow the left knee to bend. Replant that foot. Keep the right foot where it is and bring it over to the left side of the body. So a little bit of a twist here. Now, if you need a block under this right foot, if it doesn't quite reach the floor, once again, take the left hand to the right ankle, right hand to the inside of the thigh. So you're kind of half on your left side, but you're just gently opening the hip here. A little bit of a twist. If you want to reach the right arm away and then allow that right leg to open any amount that it wants on its own, breathe into that. And now very carefully draw the right knee in towards your torso first. Give it a squeeze and then roll onto your back. Bring both knees up in towards your chest. Yeah, good. You can rock out through the lower back here. That's it. Okay, let's plant the sole of the right foot. Flex the toes on the left foot. Take the ankle across the thigh. Your right hand's coming to your left ankle. Your left hand is on the inside of that left thigh, just gently encouraging it to open. Keep the toes engaged on the left foot so it's flexed. That'll protect the knee. There should be no pain in the knee during any of this, so breathe into this. If you have any pain, you're either going to try and move that foot somewhere else or you're going to skip it. Okay? Knees are not meant to stretch. Bring the right knee in towards your chest. Reach the hands through your figure 4, and you're either hanging on to your shin or the back of the thigh. That's it. And the left elbow can encourage that left thigh or that left hip to open. Toes are super flexed on both feet. Breathe. This might be intense. One side probably feels different than the other. We're a little bit different on each side. Okay, let's extend the right heel towards the ceiling, interlacing your fingers behind the thigh, and you're still opening this left thigh as much as you can to the left, maybe walking the hands up the back of the calf. Maybe the toes on your left foot are coming towards your nose. See how it feels in your body. Let's bend that knee back to the floor. Here we go, and now right hand comes to the left ankle. Allow the left foot to go over the right side. If you need something under the foot to support it, keep hanging onto that ankle with your right hand. Maybe the left hand encourages this thigh open a little bit. Maybe you roll more onto that right hip to help that happen. Again, no pain in the knee, only opening through the hip. Breathe. And then maybe the left hand comes out. Yeah, and you get a little deeper into the twist. Allow that leg to come open. Okay, roll more to your right. Bring that left knee in towards your body. Hug it in. Roll back onto your low back. Yeah. And then let's just take some circles with the knees, with the low back. Maybe take a happy baby here. Extending the spine long. So happy baby is not about getting your hands to your feet, okay? If your bum is lifting up, then you're going to take your hands closer to your knees. You're trying to flatten out the whole low back. You're holding up the ceiling with the soles of your feet. You're going to breathe into this. Maybe circle out the ankles. And if you wish, you can extend your feet and your hands towards the ceiling. Take a dead bug. Full inhale. Let it all out. One more. Full inhale. And then let the feet, heels drop towards your bum. Let the arms come open. And slowly start to draw your body long onto the mat. Coming into Shavasana, final resting pose. So I'll guide you into Shavasana. Some teachers say this is the most important pose. Shavasana means corpse pose. So we're coming into the death of our practice. We're allowing our body to let go and our mind to let go of what we no longer need. We're allowing our body to absorb what we learned in the practice. Allowing the body to rest so we can come off the mat refreshed and renewed. So let everything that is touching the mat sink a little bit deeper. Back of your head, your back of your shoulders, backs of your arms, your heels, your hips, your bum. Yeah. If you want to close down your lights, maybe you've got some nice music that you'd like to put on for Shavasana, always a good idea. Or adding an extra layer for warmth, also a good idea. And now with every exhale, start to let go a little bit more. Start with your toes and your ankles, your heels, your knees, your calves, and your shins. Let the backs of your legs be heavy. Let your hips be heavy. Let your low back relax and let your belly button fall into the spine. Release your fingertips, your wrists, your elbows, the backs of your arms. Let your shoulder blades sink a little bit deeper. Let go of your chest and any need to control the breathing. Let your head be heavy. Close your eyes. Take the tip of your tongue to the hard roof part of your mouth to relax your jaw. Let go of your cheeks, your forehead, your eyelids, your throat. Take a few minutes of complete stillness and relaxation. The work is done. Shavasana. if you would like to remain in Shavasana a little bit longer, please feel free to do so. If you'd like me to lead you out of Shavasana, then you're slowly going to bring your awareness back to your body and to your breath. Take small movements in your wrists, your ankles, your toes, just to gently wake up the body. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out the mouth. Let it go. Maybe one more like that as you take a big stretch. Reach your arms up overhead, away from your feet. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then very slowly roll to your right side. Tuck your knees up into your chest. Let your head rest on your arm. Curling up into the fetal position. Yeah. Take a few breaths here. And then only when you're ready, using your other hand for support, you're going to draw yourself back up to a seated position. Coming into Sukhasana, easy pose we have at the start of class. So just as the name suggests, it should feel easy to sit for another moment. Let your hands rest somewhere comfortably on your thighs, tall through the crown of the head, open up the chest, and just notice your breath. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, go ahead and do that. Notice how you feel in your body. Notice if you've created some space in the body, and maybe we've created a little bit of space in the mind. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head to your heart. And above all else, give yourself lots of credit for showing up on the mat, doing this good work for your body, maybe for your mind, for building resilience to get through all that we're going through right now, taking some time for yourself. All very important. It's always my honor and pleasure to guide you through a yoga practice. So from my heart to yours, wishing you good health. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.